Most people open Sales Navigator and immediately begin searching. No plan, no structure, they're just searching. And then they wonder why their LinkedIn outreach isn't working. Or worse, they're not even using Sales Nav for LinkedIn outreach, they're using it for a list building tool. But here's the deal, when you set up your Sales Navigator account properly, it does all the heavy lifting for you and it will become one of your best outbound sales tools in your arsenal. I've personally been using Sales Navigator and training others on how to use it for the last 8 years. And I can tell you it is a game changer when you use it properly. Global brands like T-Mobile for Business, all the way to solo consultants. When you set up and use Sales Nav the right way, you will land meetings. Many people that go through my training land meetings within 24 to 48 hours after using Sales Navigator properly. But the kicker is you have to first have it set up properly in order to use it the right way. So that's exactly what we're going to cover in this video. Let me walk you through it step by step. Now, the very first thing you need to do is check out your settings, because this is where you're going to determine what you're going to receive, the alerts, and really just make sure everything is set up properly. So click on your photo here and then click settings. That's going to take you to a page that looks like this. Now, what we're going to want to do is just look at everything in this area. First of all, please make sure that everyone can see your beautiful face, your first and last name, and your headline. So if anything is marked over here, obviously select this one here. Now, your email preferences, you're gonna wanna leave most of these on. The default is to have them on, so just make sure they're still on. And then these as well. All of these are alerts. So this is going to help you when you're building everything out, because it's going to let you know when certain people are taking certain actions. So just make sure everything is turned on here, because that's what is going to notify you and you'll be able to reach out accordingly. Okay, so that is step numero uno. Just make sure all the settings are filled out properly. Now, step number 2 is we want to create account lists. Now, you should have a list of target accounts that you already are going after. And so those are the ones that we want to focus on first. So what I want you to do is click on the accounts button right at the top. And then if you have the team version of Sales Navigator, you will be able to upload your accounts. If you use Salesforce, Salesforce will automatically import those accounts if you have the integration between Salesforce and Sales Navigator. If you don't have that, but you are on a team edition of Sales Nav, you can still upload your account list. Now, I do not have the team version. I have the solo version of Sales Nav that I signed up for forever ago. So here's what this looks like if you do have the team version. You're gonna see a button that allows you to upload accounts from your CSV. It's going to be up here somewhere in these 3 dots. If you click this, you'll be able to upload the account, and then it'll look something like this right here. So then you will be able to download an example template, make sure it's lined up. You could even use AI for this to help you take one CSV spreadsheet and make it match this CSV file from LinkedIn. You could upload this to ChatGPT and be done in seconds. And then you upload that and it's gonna give you a list of accounts. Now, if you do not have the paid team version, and if you're like me, little old me, with my solo version, just type in the company name. It's not that hard. So literally just type in whatever company name you want, and then it comes up. So we go here. There's a bunch of different ways to do this, but we could literally just do bird eye. Oh, what do you know? There's bird eye. Then we select it and we click add to list. Mine's already in the list, so let's pretend that it's this one. Select it here, save, add to list, right? If you wanted to find similar companies, that's when you click view similar, and it's gonna pull up similar companies from the target company already. Okay, that is not the company I wanted in Saudi Arabia. Okay, oh well, it was an example. Okay, now it's really simple. Literally, you can manually go and search for this. If you don't have a list of accounts, 95% of teams and individuals that I train on Sales Nav, they already have a list of accounts they're going after. So if you're the 5% that doesn't, that is totally cool. All you gotta do is come in here and fill it out. What type of company are you looking for? What's the company size? Where are they located? what is their industry, and you just fill all of this out and it's gonna come up. So if I wanted computer hardware manufacturers in the US, without the word bird eye in it, 12. So 500 to 1,000 employees, computer hardware manufacturing. There's only 12 of them. Awesome. So a couple other things you could do is you could see who is you're already connected to that works for that company. So what I mean by that is, let's say you don't know what companies you're going after. You could kind of take an inventory of your first degree connections and say, I want to see who I'm already connected to that work for certain companies that fit my criteria. So we could do the same thing. So we're like, I want annual revenue of 100 million to 500 million. I'm going to add that. I'm going to get rid of the head count. And I'm going to have people in California that are my first degree connections that work for a company between 100 million and 500 million. And I want to make sure that they are tech, information, and media. Now I have 25 companies here. This means that my connections right here work for those companies, which is pretty cool. So if I click on this, it's going to show me, okay, here are 23 connections that work at GLG that you already have. And then you could reach back out to them, start the conversation, etc. Maybe if you've never even talked to them before, then you just start the conversation. So this is what we want to do. We find the people and then we add them to account lists. So these are all saved because I'm connected to them. So I did my homework. Yay. Well, kind of some of these. So if I wanted to save this, I would just click save and then you can select what account list you want to save it to. Now you need to be specific. So don't upload thousands of target accounts into one list. You need to be specific based on your role and how you're targeting these companies. Is it based on territory? Is it based on company size? Maybe they are hot leads that have already shown intent. Maybe they are completely brand new. Make sure that you are being specific here about the types of accounts. Now, speaking of, there is a buyer intent option that is pretty cool with these account lists that show up right here. Again, because I don't have the fancy version of Sales Nav and my clients do, I'm not showing it on my screen, but let me show you what that looks like. Okay, so if you have the team edition of Sales Nav or a higher paying edition than I have, you will see buyer intent right here. This is what most of my clients see. So you can sort by buyer intent with your accounts. These are not individuals, these are accounts. We're still on the account level. So you add your accounts to your account list, be specific as you possibly can. Try to keep it under 100 per list. Under 50 is even better. We don't need to be targeting thousands of companies right now. That's not the right way to go about doing LinkedIn social selling. We need a hyper-specific target list because we are going to go all in. This is an ABM play, account-based marketing, where we're targeting specific companies and then specific people, multiple people that are specific at each organization. So when you have your account list uploaded, you're going to see something like this if you are on the team edition or the higher version of Sales Nav, and you can sort by buyer intent. Now, buyer intent, they look at 180 different signals, LinkedIn does, and these are anywhere from people who are viewing your profile or someone's profile at the company you work for, people that are visiting the company's LinkedIn page, people that are visiting the website, people that are clicking on LinkedIn ads. There's tons of signals that LinkedIn is looking at to tell you whether some account, not individual, is high intent or not. So obviously, focus on the accounts that have high buyer intent. You could even make a brand new list of these people. Let's say you have a list of 100 target accounts. You're on a screen that looks like this. You see accounts that have high buyer intent. You start with those people first. I keep saying people, whatever. They're people at the organizations. You start with them first, then you work your way down the list. So when you go to a company page, it's going to look something like this on LinkedIn. It's going to tell you why they have a high buyer intent. So you can click on that and get that info. Now, going back, so we have our account list. They're going to show up right here. So just make sure that you have all your accounts sorted out right here. And by the way, one company can be in multiple account lists. So it doesn't just have to be one account list per company. You can have them in multiple lists if you wanted to. Now, when you have a list, you're going to sort down. It's going to look something like this. Then you can click through and look at the individual companies, okay? So if I click here for 3 pillar, it's going to pull up this LinkedIn company page, and it's going to give me lots of amazing insights here. So first, if you have your personas set up, which I'm going to show you in a second, it'll show you those personas. Then it's going to get into the relationship explorer with how you're connected. And you can just scroll down here and find all of this. Employee count, if they're hiring, if they're not, job openings, et cetera, et cetera. People also viewed, similar companies right here, and then their alerts. So what's happening at these companies? Okay, so this is the accounts individual area. You don't have to use this a ton. Now, if you have those high value accounts you're really trying to get in front of, then yes, go to this page and check it out. But for what we're doing right now, we're not gonna worry about this. We're just gonna make sure that we have all of them in our account lists. Any target company, put it in an account list you're going after. Any current customer or client, put them in a list. Past clients, put them in a list. Industry partners and industry referral partners, put them in a list. So think of all the different companies you collaborate with, you're targeting, you work with, and they all need to be in their own individual list right here. So there's lots of different ways you can name these. You can see we kind of have first degree tech companies. I'm looking at people that are my first degree connections, what I just showed you, and I'm putting those people in a list. So there's lots of ways you can go about doing this. The easiest is just put in the accounts you're targeting. Now, what I want you to do next is create your personas. This may or may not make a lot of sense for you, so use your best judgment here. When you first log into Sales Navigator, you're gonna see personas right here on the right-hand side. They're also right here. So if you click this, mine are already set up. So if I click create a new persona, it's going to give me this option and I can call it whatever I want. So I could call it marketing decision makers. Let's say this is what I'm doing right now. Function, marketing. So you pick the function, you pick the seniority level. We want CXO, VP. CXO is anything chief. So in this example, it'd be chief marketing officer. Director, senior. Okay, so now it's gonna show me marketing people that fit all of these titles. Well, sorry, they fit all those seniority levels. If we wanted to do titles, we could. Probably do one or the other, because it doesn't make sense to do both. So I'm not gonna do this right now, but if I were, I would say Chief Marketing Officer, like VP of Demand Gen. Oh, that's not even one. That's funny. Marketing, whatever, okay? I'm gonna leave it blank for now because we just have the seniority level. They're in marketing, and then we want North America, and then click save. So go through and do this for all of your ICPs, all the job titles that you're targeting, put them right here. Okay, now that they're here and we have our accounts set up, we are going to go find those people, which is step number 3. So personas was step number 2. Step number 1 was the account. Step number 3 is the leads. So we have our personas set up, we have the accounts set up. Let's go find the people at the accounts. This is the fun part. So very first thing you wanna do, scroll down here, click account list, and select the account list that you just built. If you did what I told you to do and you're really specific, then you're gonna select the account list that makes the most sense, or you can select all. For this purpose, I am just going to do this one, which I think is a smaller list. So let's say this is my target account list. It's going to pull every single person that works at these companies that are listed, okay? It's pulling all of those. Now, I don't want that. I only want my persona. So I'm going to click Marketing Decision Makers, which is the persona we just made. Now it takes it down from over 1,000 to 37. So this is showing me marketing decision makers that work at my target companies. There's only 37 here because it's a smaller list. This is what we want. To drill it down even further, I could select change jobs. Oh, there's only one person. So Carla here started 3 months ago in her role. If you're targeting Senior Director of Product Marketing, she might be good to reach out to. So keep that in mind. People that change jobs are usually more apt to have a conversation. People that posted on LinkedIn, there's 18 of them. These people are more likely to accept your connection request. So what we're trying to do here is find the right people to add to lead lists. We already did your account list, now we want lead lists. Now, let's say that you don't have your personas filled out here. All you would have to do is just fill out this information over here on the side. So go through everything. We already did the company, we don't need that. So role, their experience, all of that. Now you can see what happens when I click persona, it shows up right here automatically. So that's why it's just faster, but you can always drill in and get even more granular if you want. So another filter that I want you to use is this connection right here. Now, people are more likely to connect with you if they are second degree connections. So always click second degree before you do anything else and see how many people pop up. So for me, I had about 34 people pop up, which is great. So if they're third degree connections, that's fine. If you want to already see who you're connected to at these companies, obviously do that. Start there, always. But when we're trying to find new people at these target accounts, select second degree. And then if you want, you can toggle on these as well. So post it on LinkedIn, change jobs, etc. Let's say we like this search and we want to use a similar search, but different later on. We can save it so we don't have to do all of this again. And all you do is click this, toggle it on, and it's going to save that search. And then click saved searches. It's going to come up right here. Then you could just rename it. So it already kind of gave it a name, second degree connections, posted on LinkedIn, but I would change this to second degree target accounts marketing ICP, and then I'd put the date, okay? So this is how I would save it personally, and then it's done. But that just saves the search. So in Sales Navigator, there are two ways to go about saving leads. One of them is the search that does not save leads, it just saves the lead search. That's what we just did. The other saves the individual leads into something called lead lists. Nothing on LinkedIn Sales Navigator will work in terms of the alerts and all the cool features if you do not have the people saved to a list. You cannot just save searches. Saving searches is cool because it notifies you when new people pop up. So right now there's 18 people in this saved search that fit this criteria. But let's say in 2 weeks from now, 5 more people fit this criteria. This saved search is going to automatically add those 5 new people, which is pretty cool. And it's going to tell you that. Okay. So you need to do both. You need to save the searches and you need to save the leads. So how do we save the leads? Really simple. We literally just go down here, select them individually, or we can select all of them, and then we click the save button. I, of course, showed you an example of people that are already saved. Of course I did. But essentially, they're right here, and then you click what list you want them to add to. So whatever list you want them on, you click it, and they are added. Now, if you want to see mutual connections, really good idea to pay attention to that. They're all right here. So if I'm targeting Jake, I want to see who Jake is also connected to that I am. I'm going to look, I'm going to find who he's connected to, and I'm going to reach out to them if I know them. Of course, it's going really slow right now. Here we go. So if I knew Courtney Robertson, I would reach out to Courtney and say, hey, Courtney, how have you been? I'm looking to get in front of a few people I've noticed you're connected to. Mind if I run these names by you? I would not do this to anyone unless I personally knew them. I've worked with them before, I've met them, I'm friends with them, we have some sort of history. Do not do this to strangers that you don't know just because you're connected, just an FYI. So always pay attention to this, but you can see what's happening. You can see the recent posts, you can click through, it's gonna pop up on the right-hand side to see if this person is even a good fit for you. That way you don't have to get off of this list and go somewhere else. You can quickly go down here, you can look, see what they're up to, what they've been posting about, their activity, et cetera, and if they're a good fit, add them to the list. So that is how you add account list and lead list. And then if you click on leads, your lead lists are gonna be right here, and then you can click through and look at those people. And what's cool is it's going to tell you what's going on in your account list and your lead list. So one person changed jobs, 32 people posted, 6 people share experiences. And then you can leave notes. If you have any outreach activity, it would show up here. If you sent a connection request, whatever it is. And then same with your accounts. It's going to show you those accounts and what is happening within those accounts. So accounts with recent changes, it's going to tell you that right here. Growth alerts, risk alerts, all of these things, it's going to pull up and show you. So that is how you set up accounts. That is how you set up leads in Sales Nav. Now, the reason that I am showing you this is because you need to be paying attention to your home feed in Sales Navigator every single day. Spend at least 15 minutes on here looking at what is going on. You can look at accounts, what's happening with all of your accounts. It's going to show you right here. You can look at only accounts that you are currently targeting. That would be a specific account list, which I just told you to build right here. So I only want to see my target accounts and what's happening there. And then it's going to pull up everything that's going on. They posted on their LinkedIn company page. They hired someone, a sales leader. They posted a new video. So it's saying what is happening at these organizations to give you an idea. So you can obviously mention that in your outreach, and you just have general knowledge of what's happening at these companies. Now, my favorite part is the leads right here. So if I want to look at my lead lists, then I would look at these people who are posting content because I already have them saved to a lead list. So we have Jonathan here, we have Paula here, we have Justin here, and all I do is I could click view, and the whole point is we need you to engage. In my other videos, I talk about my friendly leader method and how you need to be leaving 5 comments a day on prospects post, minimum. This helps you do that in record time. You don't have to waste time on LinkedIn.com doom scrolling the nonsense that you see on there. This is targeted and curated specifically for you based on your leads that you put in your lead list. It's amazing. So you can quickly go through and engage and then go down the list and go to the next. Of course, because I'm making this video and I have multiple devices recording me and a screen recording me, it is not showing story of my life. But usually it shows up right here on the right-hand side. We're gonna click off of it. So all you do is literally click view, you comment, you like, you move on to the next. So if I was targeting Justin right now and he posted a day ago, I would look at what he posted. Looking forward to this one on Thursday, July 10th. We'll be discussing the tools and strategies, award-winning project. It's a rare look at what it takes to align people. Okay, awesome. So because it's only a day old, I would like it or clap. And then this one, I probably wouldn't leave a comment. You could if you wanted to. It's more of like an announcement. So if they have a thought leadership post where they are teaching someone something, they're telling a story, other people are commenting. Even if other people aren't commenting, it's totally fine. Comment, because it's gonna make you stand out. But in this case, I might not. It just depends. But I could definitely like it. He's gonna see that I celebrated it, and I'm gonna get on his radar. And then I could reach out to him a day later and say, hey Justin, saw your post yesterday. Awesome that AECOM and N8 are et cetera, et cetera. And then I would just start the dialogue, okay? Would be happy to connect with you because he's a secondary connection. So what we're trying to do is come up with anything that we can talk about from these people and engage with them ahead of time so they see you. They know you exist before you even reach out to them. That is why this is so key. Let's say you don't have time, you're busy, but you want to come back and engage with this and you don't want to lose it. All you do is click this bookmark here. It's going to be bookmarked up here, bookmarked alerts. You can come back and then you can look at it. These do expire here, by the way. So you'd have to come back and look at these before they expired. So this is why I want you to add all the leads and all the accounts in your Sales Nav account. You can see here you have priority accounts as well, and your personas over here on the right. So this is the ultimate way to set up Sales Nav properly. And when you do this, everything becomes so much easier. You know who you're targeting. You can leave notes in the notes section on both the accounts and the leads. And you can get really, really targeted and organized by making sure you're following up with these people, you're engaging with them, and you're starting meaningful dialogue. But if you don't have your Sales Nav account set up from the get-go, it's gonna make your life hard. So please go set it up the right way. If you have any questions at all, leave it in the comments. I am happy to help you. And if you want help personally getting this set up, reach out, happy to help. Make sure to check out my free 90-day jumpstart course. It has some video and audio message templates that you can leverage after you've built out your fabulous Sales Nav lists. You can use those message templates to start reaching out to people. So go check that out, and I'll see you in the next video.